Hello motivators. I am so excited today because we purchased a new palette and it finally came in and I finally have time to record it. But before we get into anything, hello, welcome back, or just welcome, first time here. If you like anything beauty, makeup related, you're in the right place. If you just like watching anybody do anything on YouTube, you're in the right place. But today we're going to be reviewing, giving you our thoughts on a new palette, giving you information, and letting you know what's going on. So the palette I'm thinking about today is this beautiful NOMAD Cosmetics new Verona Amore e Muerte palette. And that is Italian, which is so crazy. And that is the Love and Death palette. If you don't know Italian, or if you do know Spanish, this right away, to me, I could totally figure that out. It was crazy. I was like, I love languages, and that's a whole nother subject, but this is so crazy. It is based on or inspired by the Romeo and Juliet, so love story. I love this. I love the back of it. The back of it gives you the color names. It tells you information on here. Cruelty-free and vegan. Recycle, please. Proud supporter of Wildlife Fund. It gives you cool like destination. Verona, Italy. Coordinates, Juliet's balcony. Inspiration, love and death. I like that. And it says, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, William Shakespeare made world famous by star-crossed lovers. Verona is a perfect place to find yourself during the Valentine's season when Cupid's arrow is ready to strike. This right here, I think they did an amazing job. I am a sucker for art. I like that it's matte filling. I like that this is like kind of raised and it's gold. And let me give you some information about this palette, okay? Okay, so I have my big iPad in front of me and I wrote all the information down, so I'll be reading off here. So the Verona Love and Death palette, so the Verona Amore y Muerte palette is 47 USD dollars, 18 by 0.05 ounces, and then has slash 1.5 grams. So it's inspired by Verona and its famous star-crossed lovers. Romeo and Juliet experience the fiery highs of love and the sorrowful depths of death with our newest palette. 18 velvety shades formulated with extra fine pigments for deathly rich color, 12 pigmented mattes, 4 striking shimmers, and 2 sheer shimmer toppers, infused with cocoa seed butter to help keep skin supple and colors alive. Cruelty-free and vegan, 100% plastic free, from our house to yours. That's pretty cool. And features, it has 2-sided color story of fiery love and sorrowful death, 12 velvety mattes, 4 intense shimmers, and 2 sheer shimmer toppers. Let's see here. Cocoa seed butter to help skin be supple and colors alive. PETA certified cruelty-free and vegan, free of parabens, phthalates, and mineral oil. No talc, no gluten, 100% plastic free, and made of over 80% recycled cardboard. There's no plastic used anywhere in their Verona Love and Death palette, from the factory to warehouse, freight to the product itself, or the packages we use to send the orders. Wow. So we have the colors Paradise, matte blush pink pressed pigment, Cupid sheer shimmer topper pink with lavender pearls pressed pigment, Balcony matte rose pink pressed pigment, Rose matte deep pink pressed pigment, Love matte passionate red pressed pigment, Romeo shimmer ruby red with blue pearls pressed pigment, Light matte red coral pressed pigment, Comedy shimmer crimson red with gold pearls pressed pigment, Quill matte burning passion red pressed pigment, Tomb matte ash gray, Moore sheer shimmer topper gray green with gold pearls, Inferno matte charcoal gray, Juliet shimmer rich serenity blue, Death matte deep black pressed pigment, Poison matte midnight blue pressed pigment, Dagger matte woeful mauve pressed pigment, Tragedy shimmer deep purple gray with violet pearls, Dark matte deep purple pressed pigment. Okay, and let me just show you the inside. So I'm going to tell you first good surprise that really, it did surprise me. Maybe it's because I expect something different because of other makeup brands, is that I was expecting, you know, the palette to be a little bit smaller, but this is a pretty good size palette, and I'm kind of happy about that. Especially, look at this. Can we just appreciate, I mean, this took a lot of thought and artistic layout, and whoever was, you know, the designer of this, awesome job. Whoever like cleared this off, great. I like that. Look, it opens like this. You have two mirrors, and let me show you the palette. It is so beautiful, and I'll throw some pictures in there too, with natural lighting, which they look more vibrant in the natural lighting to me when I take pictures, and then with the camera flash they still look beautiful. And I like how they put the information on the back, and says designed on location, finding love in the streets of Verona, proud supporter of World Wildlife Fund, manufactured at NOMAD Labs in China, distributed by NOMAD Cosmetics, Dallas, Texas. What? I'm from Texas, so we're like best friends now. It has 12-month shelf life, cruelty-free and vegan. And then it has all that information, the net weight and stuff like that. NomadCosmetics.com. It looks really clean. Let me tell you right now, this does feel weighted. It feels very, like, yeah. Okay, $47. It feels like I'm holding maybe like a $75 and up palette. Especially because I have that Pat McGrath one too. The one that was made of, not the regular palettes, but the one they have like made out of cardboard and stuff. This looks better to me, honestly. It's art. But, and the way the layout is, I think, you know, people should take some notes on that. But I love it. Like, looking at it right now, I like the gradient. I like the, ooh, let me not blind you. Let me go like this. Oh, I forgot. Let me show you the palette like this, because I don't want to blind you with the mirrors. But this is a gorgeous palette. Very gorgeous. Like, I'll throw some pictures if the camera's not picking it up. I wanted to show you a little bit closer. I put the mirrors in the back. The mirrors go behind it perfectly, so you can use it like that. But look at this palette. So gorgeous.
And I used Steph's Beauty Stash's code, my friend, Steph10, to save money.
Shimmers, or the sparkly ones that are really like catching my eye. It's going to be Comedy and Moors. The matte shades that are calling my name. I kind of like that gray tomb shade. I don't know what's going on with me in grays. And then Steph here on YouTube, hello, she said she's like did a look with that one and a shimmer, and I'm like, wow, maybe I have to try that. But that is crazy. I actually like that shade Dark and Poison. It's like a deep blue, deep like purple mauve tone. There's a lot of great shades, but look at those imprints. Did you see those imprints when I showed you? Like, these imprints, they have to be the most eye-catching thing for me. Some people might not like imprints, but for some reason they're growing on me. I love these imprints. And you know what? I did predict, I even told my sister, I predicted, I'm like, watch. They're going to do more imprints because I think there was a mainstream one that was doing some imprints, but then I saw some indie brands starting to put more imprints, and I think it just catches my eye. I think it looks nicer. I think it looks honestly better to me when I look at a palette, as if like imprints are in there, even if one doesn't have it. But this kind of like elevates it, in my opinion. It looks so pretty. Like the double-sidedness. It does remind me of like, oh, love, but then like it reminds me of Valentine's and anti-Valentine's, which I think is great to have this palette. But you don't have to just use it for Valentine's. This is also not limited edition, so it's not like when it goes out, it's going to go out for good. No, this is going to be on their website, not limited edition. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do several looks. Lots of looks just to test this out. Try to use as many shades as possible, which if I do a lot of looks, I want to use all these shades. So if you got to this point, thank you so much. So we purchased this, me and my sister, we purchased this palette. This was not given to us in PR. And even if we get PR, we are going to tell you how we feel. We're going to test this out about the palettes, and let you know all the information so you can make an educated decision. You know, do you buy this? Do you just want to use the palettes that you have, which is fine. You don't have to purchase anything here. You don't have to use our links or anything. We do have links down below, promo links for other brands and stuff like that. But when something catches my eye, I have to, like, it's in my head. I'm like, I'm going to do everything to get that. So we do budget here. We got full-time jobs here. So, you know, we take purchasing stuff very hard. Like, my sister will stop me. Like, no, can't do that. You know, we got stuff to do. We got to help mom and dad and stuff like that. We got to pay bills. So I really have to stop myself, save some money, and make, you know, decisions, educated decisions on what I should buy. So I saw this. I was like, so gorgeous. It looks good. And for the price, like, look at how big. Let me get another palette to compare. An earthly palette. Beautiful, by the way. And this is the NOMAD palette. Okay. And see, I found that palette I was talking to you about. The Pat McGrath one. See, here we go. We got this actually from Influencer. And this was sent to us. But for some reason, like, the outside, okay, it looks pretty. It looks fine. But the back, I mean, it has a sticker. You can literally peel that off, which is crazy. But the inside, for some reason, the wells in here, which are the circle things that you put eyeshadows in, they're like a little raised. So it kind of, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. It does cheapen it a little bit, but the mirror is great in here. I don't know, I want to blind you. Yeah, so this to me, it looks beautiful, but like, this is a sticker. The back is a sticker. To me, this packaging is a little less than like, this is beautiful, gorgeous. It's printed on there. It looks nice. I think there was a little bit more thought to this one than this one. I still like the visual, but I don't know. And I'll do another tester on this one, because this happened to be one that I was like, I mean, it was okay, but that's another video. This palette is medium to large, but it's pretty good. It's flat. It can fit in your drawers and stuff like that. Let's get into this. So I'm just gonna leave my skin bare and do my eyes and a lippy for the first couple of looks. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have a clean face, a lippy, and my eyes done. That's it. Just because it saves my skin from wiping off so much stuff. So I have nothing on my face. No concealer, no foundation, just my little eye things, which I need to take off. Okay. Just to hydrate. It's cold and my skin gets dry in this weather now. Here in Texas, it's now like, I feel like it's gonna snow. We're gonna have another freeze out here. So that's what I'm gonna do. Multiple looks. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna wipe my face again, just to get rid of any residual dirt and prime my face and get into this. Okay. So I hope you like these. Let's get into it. Use this more amore. This side, okay? With the more pinks and reds, red toned look. So here we go. I think I'm gonna do a gradient and go with Paradise. I think I'm gonna go with Paradise. Oh, this is, yeah. Paradise, Rose, and Balcony. Maybe throw in that. Depends how I'm feeling. Let's see here. Get closer. Okay, lots of pigment. This is a very, Paradise is a very light, like pastel pink. More pale pink. I'm just gonna do like that. Okay. wipe my brush off on my pants. Don't do that. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with Balcony. I'm telling you, I love these imprints. I just went into Paradise and that imprint did not go away. So I like that. Makes it look pretty. I don't like messing up stuff. Okay, you see that? Let's do a gradient. That's Balcony. Doing a little bit of Paradise. And let's go with Rose. So I've used, so this one, now we're going with Rose. I'm gonna flare it more out. And if eyeshadows are working on this eye, I do have dry patches on this eye. It's very difficult sometimes. Sometimes they don't show up. And then of course when it's drier in the air, these patches tend to not work with me. Okay, sometimes they don't let me apply my makeup on right, like the eyeshadows won't grab, which I hate. I feel like today I have a little bit of dry patches here in the middle, so, but overall the eyeshadow is definitely pigmented, going on right. I have Anastasia Beverly Hills base on here. And then I'm just gonna go over again with the shades just to make sure they're blending well. Okay. I like that. This is definitely a Valentine's look. I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is a very old brush. I think this is a old elf brush. Like it's so old, any writing that was on here is completely gone. I'm going to go in with this deeper shade here. Okay. Create that deep liner. And I'm gonna go like this. Put it on your lower lash line. I'm only gonna go a little bit like that. Blend it, blend. Okay, the other shade I already wiped it off. It's just stained, and blend out the edges just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to use this one, Romeo. I do wet my brush, or I use glitter glue. So I'm gonna go ahead and use glitter glue. And I'm not going to do a typical cut crease. I'm just gonna put some shimmer here in this section of my eye in my inner corner. So that's Romeo. Okay. Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that. I feel like that Romeo shade, I think you definitely have to wet to get it a little bit out the pan. It is a beautiful, gorgeous shade. Let me try to swipe it. That is beautiful. You can use your finger, wet your brush, or like I do wetting my brush sometimes, or I use glitter glue. But I like this. So far, so good. Now I'm gonna do a cut crease on this side. Into love. Going into that love shade, I would pack and okay, going into that love shade, I am definitely going to pack and then I start blending.
Okay, I'm using an RT brush. Don't forget, just take your time blending.
I'm going to use the light, it says light, this shade, to blend out the edges.
Yeah, so right here I'm just blending away, blend. And I wipe it because I went over the line that I like create, like my visual line for my look.
Okay, I like that. I don't know if it's showing on camera, but it's like reddish going into like a pink shade there. So I like those two together. I think I'm gonna use Cupid in Comedy. Oh, see, under Romeo is Comedy. I don't know if you can see that. Huh. So maybe I'll use this shade right here, and then in the inner corner, Cupid. Ooh, I like this one actually.
So here I'm putting Cupid and Comedy are on my lids.
That is pretty blend. That is a pretty blend of shimmers on the lid. Wow. To the lower lash line. Just a little bit. We're gonna put balcony, the lower lash line here. So I'll be putting on Berry Smash from About Face. It's a lip balm because my lips are getting a little dry here.
Okay, so this is the two looks using the Amore side, and I used all the shades with it. Oh, so gorgeous.
Now let's go to the Morte side. Oh guys, so I was trying to film. Of course it cut off when I went to just double check because something told me to double check. It wasn't filming, but I don't want to film, go back and do it again because oh my gosh, my face is already like suffering. So I went in with Inferno first on this side, blended out the edges with Tomb, then I went ahead and put Death and like blended out lightly. I put a little bit on there. It is quite pigmented. I like it. And then I got glitter glue and put the Moors shade here, which is, by the way, gorgeous. To darken up the lower lash line with Poison, which is a blue, deep bluish shade, bluish purple shade, I don't know, but it looks so pretty. And I swatched them, so I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them again, thinking I filmed it, but I didn't. So here we go. So it's really pretty. Like these shades are really gorgeous. I'm so mad that that didn't film. But that is using 4 shades, and I will definitely film this next look. I'm going to use dark here.
So here I'm just packing that dark shade in, then blending it, working my way further to the brow, but not going there all the way. So I'm speeding this up because I'm pretty slow, because I'm taking my time and I don't want to mess up. You can mess up, yes I know, but I hate to mess up because I don't like it. Because then me and myself, will totally start the look all over again if I think it looks crazy.
Around, I'm using dagger.
So I'm softening up all the edges with a dagger, making sure it looks pretty good, like the gradient of blending, and there's no like sharp edges. Definitely lighter shades that look like it, or you can just use a brush without any pigment and just blend it the edges out, and it'll still look like a gradient in my opinion.
Use Tragedy.
I was switching between my finger and my brush just to see which one gave me more pigment. In my opinion, slightly, my finger gave me a little bit more of the pigment, but brush worked well.
Juliet.
So I did use all the shades on this side of the palette.
This is Date Me from About Face. I put on the Essence Lash Princess with the pink on it. And using the Morte side, this is my looks. Do you like these sides? Which side do you like best? Left or right? So those are the 4 looks, using one side for 2 looks, the other side for 2 looks. Now let's go ahead and see if we can mix both sides, intertwine them for the last 2 looks. So we're going to use both sides together.
So here I'm using Inferno, and I am just slowly building that color up in the middle of my lid. Now I'm using Tomb and softening the edges with that on my eyelid. Going in with Death, scary because it's black, but take your time, slowly build it up, and it will be fine.
I'm going to go back with Inferno.
So I'm going to use Inferno, and then I'll switch to Tomb to soften up the edges once again to make a seamless gradient blend. That's what I'm doing here with Tomb again. And it's a fine balance, but it does work. Look at that. You see that gradient? It's looking good. And now I'm going in with glitter glue, so I can lay down the next shade. I'm using my Too Faced glitter glue that I've had so long, and it works fine. If I ever ran out, I'll probably get, I don't know, try another glitter glue just to see if they all are the same or what grabs more. Okay, here I am going to be packing on a Cupid, and it's giving off a great color with this black, in my opinion. So I'm switching in between the 2 again because I felt like the finger did give a little bit more payoff with that shimmer. Like, I like it, and I also like my brush, but I like the finger just has a slight more edge, so I would recommend applying it with your finger.
Balcony.
So I felt like I wanted an awesome pop of color on the lower lash line, so I went with Balcony, and I'm just applying that with a smaller brush. This is actually like a lip brush, I believe, but it's so old. I just use it. I feel like it's so small, and I think it blends out well for the under eye, so I just use it. Look at that. I just think it came out pretty good. The under eye, I was kind of scared to put that Balcony, but now, especially when I was applying it, I was like, oh, it's kind of fun.
Love.
Okay, so I'm putting Love, packing it on, and then blending out. I'm going to create a gradient. This is pretty pigmented.
Dark.
Dark again, applying and making sure I create a good blend. Reapplying the Love, and then I'll do that again and keep exchanging them. Then we're going to poison. That's our last color. I'm going more up with it, having some fun. I just like that, like a swoosh, swoosh, making your eye look more elongated, and just blending between all three again, making sure it's nice. And then I'm trying to decide what to use. Oh, okay, I'm going to use that one right there. Yeah, so I'm going to use Dagger, and then I'll use Paradise. I think those shades would look good on the bottom, so that's what I'm doing here. And it did turn out pretty good. Surprise. And then I'm going back to that beautiful shade. Yeah, Moors has to be my favorite shade. Like one of them. Oh, there's so many I couldn't decide, but this is like the top of the top.
So I put that Essence Princess mascara that has a pink on it. And then I used Unearthly Cosmetics Flirt. This is a lippy that came in their Mystery Valentine's box. We have a code with them. You can use code EARTH, but this is their satin lippy. And I thought it would go perfect with this look. Okay, so here are the final looks using both sides combined in each look. So what's your favorite? Do you like them? And I'm just thinking of these looks like on the fly, okay? I did not plan them out. I just look at the shades and I'm like, okay, let's create something, anything new, don't repeat, right? So use all the shades in the palette. And here are my final thoughts. Okay, my final thoughts are, I think this palette is worth it. I think the shades in here are worth it. I think that the shimmers or the reflective shades in here are a little bit harder to pick up with I had a flat, dense brush. But once it gets wet, if you want to wet your brush, it comes off. And look at the shimmers I got. I accomplished getting the pigment off. So it's not a big deal to me. I think when you first get in there, you're like, oh my gosh, nothing's coming off. I think you just need to swirl it around or use a wet brush and you'll be good. The mounts are great in here. I had no problems blending. And I like the color shades that are in here. I like the overall, I mean, look at the packaging, the art, the reflectiveness, the attention to detail. Let me refer, the attention to the packaging is great. I think the names, the shades, I can see it was well thought out. I do like that gradient on it as well, like from here to there. I love the gradient. And I think this was a successful palette. So congratulations, NOMAD Cosmetics. I think this is a great hit. I think it's worth it. I purchased this palette and I don't feel like, you know, I will let you know. If I feel like I purchased a palette or got a palette PR, I will let you know, like it really let me down. It really let me down. But this palette did not let me down. I think I will not get bored with this palette because of these two sides. I like the way it opens up. I don't know if people prefer it not to do that, but I prefer when it opens up like that, or I can just use one side like I was saying, or this side. I think this is a beauty. And the looks that I created, I really like them. I enjoyed this palette. Honestly, no problems. I like the names that they chose. I'm, like I said, packaging too, the way it is, I think that's cute, like your destination. And this is our first palette, NOMAD Cosmetics. And if this is the first palette I've tried, definitely a great first impression. Love it. It makes me want to buy more and more from NOMAD Cosmetics, which I have been eyeballing. But like I said, we got to budget stuff, you know, we can't just buy everything we see, you know, so, but of course we want to. We can pretend that I'm going to buy all these palettes that I see, but I just had to, and I'm so glad I did get this palette. Remember, it's not limited edition, and it's $47 USD, which I think is a great price for this. Like, it feels great. It feels luxurious. It looks pretty. Looks luxurious. And I think on this shirt, I had to wear this shirt. I think it goes with the looks. But thank you so much for staying with me. Comment down below, what was your favorite look? Which side, or what side would you particularly use? You know, comment, like, subscribe if you want. And I'll see you in our next video. Bye. Oh, and let me know if you like the intro and outro now. Thanks to my sister. She had to do that for me. I love it. But bye. See you later. And don't forget to watch any of our other videos. And have a great rest of the day or a good night's sleep, whatever you're doing. And definitely catch us on the next vid. Bye.